All right, sending this bad boy back. Hate to see it go, man, but it's got to go. But the only thing is, I don't know what I did with the original shipping box for it. I need to find that. But yep, it's got to go.
Bolo!
All right, before we get started, if you guys need any gear, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link in the description and head over to Zounds.com. They have a whole bunch of items on the site, and they have a whole bunch of items on the site that requires no credit or background check. Now, it's not going to be something like this RME interface that qualifies for the no credit or background check, but they do have a ton of stuff on the site that requires no credit or background check, meaning you can order it, they'll ship it to you, and then you can just pay it off in monthly installments. All you have to do is link a credit or debit card up to your account, and then you can go ahead and enjoy your new equipment and just pay it off in monthly installments. So if you guys want to go ahead and get some gear, make sure you guys go ahead and click that link in the description and head over to Zounds.com right now. Also, if you guys consider yourself a professional musician, or even if you consider yourself somebody who's just doing this for a hobby, the one thing that you need to do is to protect your equipment. And the number one place to go to is Analog Cases. Analog Cases has a ton of cases on its site that can fit just about every single need in your studio. Whether it's full keyboards, MIDI controllers, microphones, audio interfaces, whatever you need, Analog Cases has a case for it. So if you guys want to go ahead and get some cases, go ahead and click my link in the description right now, and you will save some money on those cases. So go ahead and click that link in the description and head over to Analog Cases right now. Yes, the RME interface is gone. I returned it yesterday afternoon, and I do want to say this. Me returning that product didn't have anything to do with the quality of that product. It was more human error. Like, nothing to do with the actual quality of that product. Like, that RME interface was exceptionally dope, sounded good, had a ton of inputs in it, worked well, the software was great. It was basically just a human error on my part. What I thought I was getting was a unit that was totally independent from having to plug it in to an outlet. Okay, now you have to plug it into the computer, of course, but I thought you could just plug it into the computer and it would have enough power to power that unit up, but you actually had to plug it in to a wall. What I should have probably got was the baby face one, the one that's underneath that. That one you can just plug directly into the computer and it has enough power via USB to plug that up, and you still get the quality and everything that RME provides. Now, with that being said, will I get the baby face? I think that's what it's called, the baby face one. Probably so. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. But with this interface, I do want to say this with the FireFox, the UCX2. The interface is super clean, sounds exceptionally well, and the output of it is exceptionally well. It fit perfect in my studio because I had it sitting underneath my laptop. Didn't require a whole bunch of cords and cables and all this other type of stuff. It was a really good interface for my studio, and it would be a really good interface for a lot of you guys' studio, especially for the price and what you're getting. Sounded great, looked good, very easy to use, and you can actually record into it without it being hooked up to the computer. It could be independent. So you can actually record to it and then save the audio on a USB and then transfer that in. I thought that was dope. And to make things even better, this thing is class compliant. This interface is everything. It's just that I made a wrong decision on getting that particular interface. So nothing to do with the quality of it, the sound of it, none of that. It's a very, very, very solid interface. But I do have to throw this in. One thing I do have to say is I'm just a UAD type of a guy. Even though some people say, well, you know, the RME sound better than UAD, and then some people may say the UAD stuff sounds better than the RME. My thing is, I've been rocking with UAD since 2005. I'm very familiar with all of their products because I pretty much own all of their, major products. And right now, I already own the X6 right now in my studio, and I have an 8 I think I have an 8P at my studio downtown, and I just know that sound. I know how to use the console. I use the console with a lot of my live stuff, so I don't have to use any external gear and nothing like that, or download anything when I'm doing my lives. I'm just very familiar with the UAD stuff. And it sounds good. It sounds really good. And it has a character to it that I like. And I'm more familiar with that than the RME stuff. Even though the RME stuff does sound really good as well, but I'm just a UAD type of a guy. Going into the future, I'm probably going to be a UAD guy. Going back to the RME stuff, if you guys do have the RME stuff, the one thing that I can say is you might not have to upgrade over time, because there's so many people that came on my last RME interface video, I guess really the first one I did, and they were saying that how they've owned RME interfaces for over 12 or 13 years and it still works fine, still sounds good, and then they still get updates to this day. That's very rare for a company to be able to do that and sustain that over a long period of time without having to just introduce you with new products all the time, which that is great. So one thing I can say is if you do have an RME interface, or if you're thinking about getting an RME interface, just know that in 10 years from now, whatever you bought now would still probably be compatible regardless of what computer you have or whatever, because one thing that RME does is they keep up with their equipment, and I think that is very dope. Now with UAD, they do keep up with certain things are discontinued, but I'm just the type of person that I rock with them, and I rock with their sound, I rock with, you know, what they do. But what I am saying to you guys right now, if you guys are looking for a great, solid interface that you can get a lot of bang for your buck, check out these RME interfaces, especially this FireFox UCX2. This thing sounds great. It will be a centerpiece for your studio. The latency is great in it. The software is great in it. The updates and everything is great on it. Everything is great. I didn't get rid of it because I didn't like it. I just got rid of it because, you know, of course I'm a UAD guy, and number two, I didn't do my research on what I was getting, but I will probably go back and try that, you know, that other RME interface that I think it's the Babyface. I'm gonna try that one and see how that is. So stay tuned for that video coming soon. And you know, everybody has a different preference. You know, some people like this, some people like that, and I just so happen to be a UAD guy in the sense. So I hope you guys understood what I was saying. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out.